So, word on the street is that GTA 6 might have 3 different endings. Pretty wild, right? I mean, Rockstar is known for their storytelling, but 3 endings, that's next level. But let's be real, we all know there's usually one ending that's the real deal. Like in GTA 5, option C was the way to go. And who can forget Red Dead Redemption? But hey, here's hoping whatever ending we got in GTA 6, it's one for the history books. Subscribe or GTA 6 will be delayed till 2026. I don't want it, you don't want it, so subscribe. Thank you and let's go. Starting off with, GTA 6 rumored for 3 different endings, story being a roller coaster and 2 different prologues for each character. Only Lucia's being speculated so far to be a young version trying to escape her Cuban town cartel ambush. Gameplay then introducing its combat tutorial to fight off. GTA 6 is rumored to have 3 different endings depending on your choice done throughout the game. Insiders reveal the story is a roller coaster of emotions executed better than any movie to have done it. Rumored there are 2 different prologues for each character, only Lucia's being speculated so far to be a young version trying to escape her Cuban town cartel ambush. Gameplay then introducing its combat tutorial. The next one we are going for, that I hope that the Grand Theft Auto 6 does not have multiple endings. Spoilers for Red Dead Redemption 1. Rockstar have a habit of including more than one ending in their games, but there's usually only one ending that's actually satisfying and unanimously preferred. Most people agree that option C is the best ending for the Grand Theft Auto 5, and even Rockstar themselves have made option C canon through the Grand Theft Auto Online. The ending of the original Red Dead Redemption, featuring John Marston being gunned down by the US Army, is heartbreaking and very memorable. However, if an option was included to either have John escape or die, most of us would have him escape because we like John and naturally want him to survive, but that's not a very interesting ending. And these aren't David Cage games, and I wouldn't like for one story with one beginning and one middle to have one ending. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the first Grand Theft Auto entry in 12 years, and having multiple endings that need to be written, performed, animated, and programmed just seems like a weird investment to me when these games already cost a fortune to make and have very lengthy development cycle. I'm not saying your idea is bad, since a lot of games are good even if they are linear with only one ending, but I would rather it be a bit more replayable with different types of choices and endings you can make. It's unrealistic to think they would make the game have as many endings as Detroit Become Human, which would be fucking amazing, but at least some major choices that you have to do at different parts of the game, beginning, middle, end, would be nice, not just the end, mind you. But that's just me, and I like linear games, but I prefer games that are a bit more to know how to express that properly. Didn't they have that same thing in Red Dead Redemption 2? A lot of the choices didn't change much, only gave you honor, but a few of them actively set you up for the finale rather than being in one major decision at the end of the game. Having that aspect in GTA 6 would be absolutely legendary, as with Red Dead Redemption 2 they would only have to write 4 total endings with the major choices playing parts in them, and it would be different considering there's no honor system, but I really like the trust system theory that's going around. 5's ending was botched because there's literally no reason to pick anything, but Death Wish and your prior actions have no bearing on it. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is the same in all the broad plot strokes. Arthur dies after guaranteeing that John and his family escape, and that particulars are a result of your play style, but you ultimately have no power to alter Arthur's fate. And I think that's cool and preserves players' agency without mucking up this story. So how do you explain Rockstar's talent? Everyone was shocked by the trailer and the possibilities it offered. We know that many other studios put everything into their trailers, and at the end of the day we are left with a game that doesn't look like much, and we're left hungry and sometimes even frustrated. How is it that Rockstar manages to produce such great games? Do they have the best developers around? Are their employees passionate about their work? Does the work culture and management really differ from that of Ubisoft, EA, or Blizzard? Rockstar work at their own pace because they want to deliver perfection, which is part of the reason GTA 6 has taken so long. Other companies do not care, as they are willing to release half-assed games because they know people will buy them. It's because they desperate, and Rockstar knows they would get success either way. Rockstar have always been like this even before GTA 3 their first big hit. They're smart and the best game company ever. Naughty Dog are the only other ones who are similar in the regard, and although they aren't as big or popular, they delivered even with the new IPs, like when Last of Us first came out. They are passionate about their games and ensure they're of a good quality. Hoping that GTA 6 takes a more story-driven and realistic approach. Hey everyone, I've been thinking a lot about the GTA 6 could be, so I find myself really hoping it leans more towards a story-driven and realistic direction, akin to what we experienced in Red Dead Redemption 2. RDR2 really set a high bar in terms of story depth, character development, and believable open world. One aspect I'm particularly keen on seeing improved is the overall tone and inclusion of mature content. While GTA 5 brought a lot to the table, it sometimes felt like it veered too much into unserious territory. Think about the middle finger cursor for phone web browsing or the somewhat juvenile humor scattered around Los Santos. What I'm really looking for in GTA 6 is a world that feels as alive, as nuanced as Red Dead Redemption 2, and a setting where the environment tells a story, where the content feels mature and meaningful, not just for shock value or laughs. Does anyone else feel the same way? I would love to hear your thoughts on how GTA 6 could balance being true to its roots while evolving into a more story-rich and realistic game. PS5 price increases close to GTA 6 launch. So I hope this wasn't asked already, but I'm honestly wondering if it would make sense to buy a PS5 now versus waiting until game launches to buy it, considering possible price increases. I don't game and plan to only use the PS5 for GTA 6, but I'm a bit worried they'll use the momentum to increase the price. All of this, of course, assuming that the current PS5 will run the game just fine on my 1080p TV, so no need for 4K 60 FPS, so don't have to wait for any potential future machines upgrades as far as I can tell. Raise the price because of GTA 6? Seriously, if it worries you, buy it now, but it won't happen because of GTA 6. By the time GTA 6 launches, PS5 Pro will be out, so there will be a plenty of barely used PS5 on sale. The PS5 Pro so far seems to have the same CPU as the PS5, only with a boost mode, and the amount of the teraflops is higher, and the machine will be at best 45% better overall. So I mean, I don't think that much people will buy the PS5 Pro, and I honestly do not get why they are making it with so little difference. Also, young Jason from leaks. It's entirely plausible that the Jason leaks from GTA 6 in 2022 hinted at a narrative structure involving time shifts. Rockstar Games has a history of innovating storytelling, as seen in Red Dead Redemption 2 with its use of flashbacks and non-linear storytelling. Perhaps in GTA 6, players could experience Jason's backstory as a young version of the character, providing deeper context to the events unfolding in the main storyline, as this approach would add layers to the narrative and allow players to better understand Jason's motivations and actions in the present timeline. I would actually love this, but I think Rockstar just changed his look, and they have pretty much done this with every protagonist. My theory is that Jason from the leaks isn't different at all, and it's just a regular Jason, but a skinnier and more pale. If there's gonna be a tanning sunburn mechanic along with the muscle building, then Jason in the leaks is probably trailer Jason, but just base model, pale and skinny. That's all the information we got on today's video, so don't forget to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next one, and peace.